just gonna hope that the audio's going through as well. You know what? It's kind of weird that it's still picking up a signal even though I had the microphone unplugged. That's really interesting. Alright, so where I left off, since my dog's not barking in the background like an asshole, I don't know where that came from, that just appeared. So, let's see, what was I doing? Oh right, I was setting up the crushers. Ferrite. Is there a copy paste like to this? And the one guy who didn't want to leave a comment but decided he was gonna like send me I'm surprised I had enough room. So these two will need to have plates going in those directions. Just to save myself some headaches, I'm going to do this. I feel like the music industry, copyright holders have sort of ruined YouTube in general. Like, the old days of YouTube, like way back, like when I was still driving semis, and which I'd go back to today if I could. No, wait. So anyways, back then you would have people that were streaming and they would be listening to music, and sometimes they would be watching like a TV show, and then you could watch the TV show at the same time, and then it was kind of like you had somebody with you, like you were, like mukbangs or whatever. People eat way too much food. Like, I don't get that part, but like anyways, they'd be listening to music and you'd hear some song in the background and you'd be like, oh, what the heck's that song? I've never heard of that band before. And you go and find new bands to listen to, and like that's gone because even if I was to hum a song, right, and I had enough of a following where the system would actually care, my stream would go down and I'd get a copyright strike, or they would take all the money away from you and give it to that one copyright holder. And I think it really kind of started with Happy Birthday song, like when allegedly, I don't know if this is true or not, but if it is, I think this is where it started. Is the happy birthday song, you know, like if anybody sings the happy birthday song and they, you know, they make money from it or whatever, like she has to get money for it. And it's like, why? It's like, why should you get any money? It's a song that's been around for ages. At this point, it's probably public domain. There. Oh, I didn't say these. Should have done that first. That's faster. I don't remember. I think the Crusher gives you a bonus. Like you crush one ore into one ore rubble, or wait, is it? I don't know what this. I know this is like an ore doubling feature. Looks like it's processing it first. I could probably run more through it. I could probably put a couple more there. A couple more down here. Yeah, let me go ahead and do that, because when I run the faster belts, it's gonna even process it even faster. They got the COVID. Yeah, I think the music industry has ruined music. Because they're so scared about, oh no, someone might hear a song that we can already hear on the radio. We'll lose like 1 penny. My thought on that is to just, you know what? If you play a song during a broadcast, during like, you know, a live stream or whatever, I think they should look at it as free publicity, but not like, oh, you should be grateful that I'm giving you free play. Like, who the fuck mind to think something like that? Like, what kind of narcissist do I have to be to assume that I should just get everything for free in the world? But like, at the same time, do you go to schools? Do they go to schools and shut them down because they played a song? Okay, yeah, it's not making it back to here. But that's okay. It's okay. It doesn't have to. I don't need all of these running. Because what will happen is like, eventually this one will fill up because it can't, you know, export all of Hawaiian numbers. So what my plan is here, this is sort of like, I know that it will not fill all these up at the same time. Like, not all of these are going to be probably, the last third are always going to be just sitting there doing nothing. But once I get the double speed belt, then it will double speed through, and it may fill up all of these. And plus, it creates a buffer, so even if like I start getting low on ore, some of these here will still have ore in them. So it won't be that bad. Like some people want to make their bases 100% efficient. Like I don't have any more coming in than I can use. But I'm like, I don't care about any of that. It's just a game. It's fun. I'm not competing against anyone. Where does this stuff go? Wow, it's way back there. Maybe this is really efficient. I don't know. I don't care either. Okay, so my plan is to have it kind of closely mimic. Let's go up. Notice too, some people don't really use, like they'll go across and then they'll loop back and then down, like why? And then on these two rows I'm gonna have it doing those ones, hopefully. It looks like to place one of these I need. Okay, so I must have had plates, I guess? No. Where did I have one down there? No, let's just tear all this up. This is what I wanted to avoid. I just can't seem to ever frickin' avoid. I cannot seem to avoid having to tear a bunch of stuff up. Like, for example, why did I bring this way? Just to curve it and then go back that way. Like, what was I thinking? There's some more red. This should stop once, that should stop once that's done. Okay, I think this is me for some plates down here. Is it plates? No, it was, I call them elbows, but they're electronics parts. Hold on, I gotta check something right quick. Also, I updated Plex yesterday, the Plex server, and I got the most ballsiest message that I've ever seen anything ever put on my screen. And it says, we would like you to opt in to allowing us to sell your data. And I'm like, what? I had to read it like 3 or 4 times because I was confused. Like, are they asking me to give them permission to sell my data, even though I'm paying you money every month? Like, I'm paying you like It started out at I think like $3.99 or something like that, $4 a month, and then it went up to five, and I think now it's up to six. Like the second that Jellyfin or Imbi has a, um, and I know Imbi you have to pay for it too, like you pay for the Imbi whatever it's called. The second Jellyfin or Imbi has a client for Xbox, so that I can watch my shows on Xbox and movies and stuff without having to like use without having to use like a DLNA or whatever. That's the day that I'm done with Plex. I'm only keeping Plex because I use it to access my Xbox, the Xbox. I don't like DLNA clients, and I really like that when I watch a show on Plex, it saves it and lets in case I have to redo it, because I constantly do sometimes. I constantly have to redo it, and it's frustrating and annoying. That like recently here, somebody went in and started renaming movies on the TV, on the movie database, and put a bunch of weird characters in it, and it made Plex not want to let me log in for hours, and eventually I had to just wipe the whole system and re-import movies and just omit the movies that this clown had changed. And by the time I did all that, somebody had fixed it. They had gone in and renamed it. Oh, I don't have enough. I don't have space. Nope, now I'm kind of wishing that instead of putting it, man, it's too late. I'm just gonna leave it the way it is because I don't want to redo it. I'm kind of wishing that instead of building it here in the middle, I just tore those up, since I'm already tearing stuff up. I'm wishing I would have tore those up and then sent it that way. Well, maybe I will. I don't know what I'd use this middle area for though. Because how far is it hitting? Right now it's going all the way down to the end. I'm just gonna leave it. I don't really want to. But how many is this? 1, 2, 3. I think it's 14. Okay, it's 14. Those are smelters. So I need 28 crushers. Do I have any crushers? There, 28 crushers. I'm waiting for that. Import the next batch of movies back into. But this time, since I had to redo radar, sonar, Plex, LiDAR's currently acting up because I got tired, but I'm not tired. Anyways, I'm gonna have to redo LiDAR because it has an issue where Music Brains is changed their API, so half of the albums that it imports is has no date, and that's screwing everything up. So I had to shut all that down. Yeah, it's really been just a huge pain in my butt freaking day. And apparently, the LiDAR problem has been a problem for like a while now because it's been like 2 weeks, 3 weeks that it's been broken. I'm like, couldn't you just like so in like say instead of having it connect to Music Brains for everything, why not import the data into a JSON file? I don't know if it's called JSON or JSON or whatever. Just import it into a JSON file or a text file that has all the metadata, you know, the album name and everything else associated with it into a text file, and then just save the text file and then read that in the future. So even if you do, like, the movie is deleted or removed or whatever, and then it's re-added later, it just goes back to that JSON file and it just rereads it, you know, because that's what Shoko server does. Shoko server has it gets the any DB info file and it just downloads it, puts it on the server. Plus, you could even have it do it in a way where you could have like a master server. No, why did I say master? We don't use that word anymore, especially us white people. But you have a server out there that sits in the middle. So let's say maybe you could set it up yourself, or you could have one that's just a public server, and then you can have private servers. And what it does is it sits in the middle between you and Music Brains, and it says, hey, I want Metallica's Kill 'Em All. And it goes to Music Brains and says, give me Metallica's Kill 'Em All. And then it says, okay, here it is. And it sends the data, and the middle server goes, okay, we'll put all this data in a text file that's just basically the album ID code, you know, the big string of text dot JSON, and it's got all the information stored. And then any future people who say, I want the info for this file, instead of going to Music Brains and getting the data, it just gets it right there. Because how many more times is Kill 'Em All going to be updated? Like, it's already got all the information. Maybe every once in a while it connects and says, hey, let me get any files that have been updated, and then it just grabs the files that are updated. This way it takes strain off of the IMDb server, because I'm sure that's why they change their API from time to time, is for, you know, when it's getting too difficult to maintain the server, you know, like too many hits or whatever. Because a lot of issues with some of this stuff is that you've got a lot of people using it. The more people that are using it, the more strain it is on the server. Now, I don't maintain anybody's servers. I did my own for a while. And thanks to ChatGPT, I'm actually getting back into trying to run a text game. But I'm not going to do it in the way that I have. I'm going to run, just based on its suggestions, I'm thinking about just doing like Savage Worlds, converting my tabletop role-playing game into Savage Worlds, and using my own sort of made-up rules, because maybe I'll make an actual real video about this, but I used to run one of 3 or 4 Rifts, the role-playing game, text RPGs out there, where we ran different scenarios, and I did campaigns, and it was like back then in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, we didn't have Discord, we didn't have online chatting. My internet connection to start was a 1400 baud modem that I used to connect purely and only to text role-playing games. You know. And I was an idiot. Alright, I was petty, I was an asshole, I thought people were disposable. Um, I basically was a dick, and I'm not like that anymore. I've matured, I guess, or grown up, whatever you want to call it. But I treated people like they were, like if they left, they left. I didn't care. Like, ooh, what did you do? You're gonna leave. Ooh, I'll just role play with someone else, you know, like. And people, you know, they did what they did. They left, and you know, there was a whole bunch of stuff, terrible things that I had done back then, and you know, now I regret all that. There's one person that I'm still a friend with that was on those kind of games, and I got swept up into drama. Like if somebody, you know, said something mean about me, I would, you know, punish them somehow. Like when their moment showed up in a scenario that I was running, I would intentionally. Like when I ran campaigns, I always ran them so that everybody had their moment. You know, like whenever so what I do is I would look at every character, right? So if I had a character who had superpowers, like was basically Superman, I would find a way so that they had their moment. Like every time, like if there was like a I don't want to do the superhero reference because that's way too easy. So like I had like a guy who was a rogue scholar who was really good with computers. So in a campaign, I had a moment for them where I would let them be kind of like the hero, the guy that figured it out. And when they had their moment, it was a time where they could earn like a massive amount of experience by doing something that basically would save everyone else. And I got petty, so this one guy was he had real grievance with me. I was doing things that he thought was, you know, just bad, and I went, oh, okay, well, if you want to be a dick to me, I guess I'm going to teach you a lesson, and I fucked this moment up for him, and I really regret doing that. I should have just been the bigger man and said, okay, well, not the bigger man, that's a stupid thing. I should have just been an adult and accepted criticism, but I didn't. I was like a little Elon Musk whiny baby back then, and, you know, I used my ability as the GM to fuck them over, and then they left the game, and I never saw them again, and for the longest time, I was like, you know, fuck these people, I don't give a shit, I'll just get new players. And you know what? It didn't. The game died. And it wasn't just me that was being like that, and this is no excuse, but other games that were out were also similarly run by, you know, young adults and kids that had no business running the game because we just weren't mature enough. Now, I encourage people that if I'm screwing up, I encourage people to tell me, hey, you know that last scene that you ran, you know, you're blah blah blah, and now I'll be like, oh, okay, well, let me work on that. Okay, now I set this one up. I should have done that. See, I should have done that before I placed these. Now to remove them is just gonna be annoying. Like I used to play on Anne McCaffrey games like the Dragon Riders, because I was really into that when I was a kid. Not so much now. The author died, and her daughter made a good kind of book, but her son just relies on the plague. Like his, like first it's the fire lizard plague, and then it's the dragon. First it was the person plague, and then it was fire lizard plague, and then it was a dragon plague, and it's like, I fucking get it. You like the plagues for some reason. You're like the fucking death over here. Just let's unleash plagues constantly. Just it's all about the plagues. And it's like, well, can you write about, I don't know, anything else? And she has a final book that she was working on, and who knows if it'll ever get finished. Hopefully not by him. I'll probably still read it. Even one of the narrators was like, yeah, I didn't read the last few books because I didn't like them. And I'm like, yeah, I can feel you. Feel what you're saying. Alright, so I'm gonna run these straight down like this. And what I think I'm gonna do, I don't think I have the room to do it. So see, like, now I kind of want to run through here, but now these are in the way, and I don't want to redo that, because look at all that. So, and I don't want to move those, because then I'd have to move them over there, and I'd spend a half an hour rebuilding all that, so I think what I'll do, what is this stuff? Oh. See, like, this one here and that one there is not symmetrical, which is fine. I just need a place where I can put... I'm gonna, you know what, I think I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna pull this up. And I'm gonna put this thing down. Now this will make sure that my thing is kind of evened out, so, well, hopefully it will. I like leaving gaps too, so I'm going to do this. Now, allegedly, this one belt is supposed to be able to handle eight forges. 8 smelters. I don't know why I call them a forge. This box here. I know this is kind of like a common way of doing this, right? You just... Okay, that should be done by now. Also, I think we need a better way of identifying files too. Here's my idea: is you move these ones over. Instead of identifying, this will probably take some very difficult things to set up, and it would use a lot of computer resources to do it. Instead of hashing just the file, you hash each individual part of the file. So you extract the video file and then hash that. And then you extract each audio track and hash those. And then under that hash code, you tag them so that, like, this string of text is the hash code for this movie. Let's say Craven the Hunter, right? So I think that's a newer movie, or Kung Fu Panda 4, whatever. You hash the video file, you hash the audio file, and then anytime someone scans it and it detects the video file but it doesn't detect the audio file, you hash that audio file and upload that with whatever information it was listed as. And in this way, when you scan your movies, it knows that this hash is English, this hash is Japanese, this hash is Chinese, and then this is an MP3 copy of an English, but it's it's got its own hash. And in this way, it can rebuild those files and properly set them so that when you shouldn't be doing this, but for movies that are open to the public, there's a whole bunch of them that were made. There are a whole bunch of movies in the past that have been made public domain. So anytime those movies are detected, you can just automatically. Wait, did I get those inputs? Come on. Once I start doing something, I get sidetracked. How far is this making it? Yeah, this ain't making it very far, is it? I thought it was supposed to be 8. Maybe it takes a little while. But it looks like it's only doing 5 at a time. Oh, wait, there's the 6. It is getting backed up, though, so that is going to be a problem. Well, looks like 8 is the magic number. Okay, anyways. You hash the video, the audio, the subtitles, all of that stuff, and you, what do you call it? Then every time you scan a video in to determine what it is, it doesn't matter what it's named, because once it extracts those individual parts, hashes them, and then deletes the video, the file parts, you can then have the option to rebuild. So as the database builds up, it slowly becomes more and more feature rich. So you can also have, say, audiobook files where it strips all the tags out of it, and then it's already got its own tags that everybody's kind of agreed on, because you can go in and add the files. So when you download an audiobook, or you extract one from like a CD or a cassette tape or whatever, and that would be the problem. Like, somebody would have to go and somehow figure out how to do like audio, because with an audio CD, you've already got all the cue marks in there. But with audio books, unless you're extracting directly from the CD and spreading those out, you'd have to figure out a way to index them properly. So it'd basically just be like, this guy extracted it and this is the data. And typically those people are posting those files online. You just want to identify them. And I've got like 9 different versions of the same book that I found online when I was researching how to do this. Yeah, it looks like that's going to be perfect. Because what I want is I want it to come through without stopping. Now, I really wish there was like Control C, Control V. Like, that'd be great. I think the drones do it for you, but if there's a mod, but again, I don't want to. Wait, what? If I do it this way, I'm going to have to unnaturally bend, but I don't have to bend if I go this way. Yeah, and then I still have room. I can expand this back. I think I have something called idiopathic hypersomnia or something. My friend was telling me about it. I googled it. It's basically I use a CPAP machine, have to, or else I will not get any sleep at all, and I'll just be exhausted all day. But so I think I have something called idiopathic hypersomnia, and it's just excessive daytime sleepiness. And the reason why I haven't gone to see a doctor about it yet is the treatment is basically amphetamines, like amphetamines, Adderall, and yeah, sure, that sounds great, but some jobs won't let you work for them if you're taking amphetamines. And any drug test I do is going to show positive for drugs, because it is, you know, it's an amphetamine. So if they're like, hey, we would love to hire you, but we're going to have you go down and do this drug test. All right, well, I'm going to tell you now, I've got amphetamines in my system. Which sounds hilarious, you know, like, yeah, I do amphetamines on a daily basis to help me stay awake. Get the fuck out. Okay, so this one needs to have... It's something I have. At some point, I'm going to attach one of those big boxes to it. I'm just going to put that there to remind me that this needs to be upgraded. Okay, so now I'm going to have to reverse. So I think this middle one, yeah, the middle one needed plates. So what I'm going to do, just remove this. Oh, look at that. It lines up perfect. What I wanted to do is refilling that. Now, I know I needed to make elbows. I think elbows. I'm going to keep calling them elbows because I did, and it's funny. Okay, so I need to follow this line. This was elbows line. And I don't want to go up and around and all that kind of shit, so I'm just going to... Oh yeah, woke up this morning and it's like, I feel like I'm forgetting to do something. And then I realized on my World of Warcraft I hadn't done all of the things for the chicken tenders, or for the, dang it. I hadn't done all of the quests for the... Why is this not making it? Okay. Just take that. Yeah, I know this isn't going to go very fast either. But once I upgrade to the next level, and I upgrade the boat. In fact, what am I doing? Putting this over here. The only ones I've done so far are the ones I did on camera. So, you know what? Let's go ahead and get a similar to, you know what? What did I need to do first? I know it was freight elevators I needed to get done. But you know, let's just go ahead and start that. A similar to would be way more useful. Trains are coming. This game too. So I needed, there's no plates, I needed elbows and rods. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go grab something to eat because I'm starting to shake. I have diabetes too, tell people, anybody who watches these videos and learns anything from them, my issues, you know, I'm gonna be dead. Who knows when? But mayonnaise packets are anyone who's on a diet's best friend. They have just the exact amount of mayo that you need for your sandwich, and it's just a, you know, so like if you get like the ability to like get a big box of mayonnaise packets, even like honey mustard packets, all that kind of stuff. Those are like your best friend when you're trying to lose weight. Also, walking around, also your friend. I mean, unless you've got a reason that you can't. Like, I don't know, everybody's, anybody who's watching this. Like, I have no illusions that I'm going to have, you know, millions of viewers or millions of subscriptions, making, you know, TYT money or PewDiePie money or any of that kind of stuff. But then again, everybody has to start somewhere, and this is, I guess, where I'm starting. And who knows, maybe I'll say something so, what do you call it, word I'm looking for, profound? Maybe I'll say something so profound that, you know, somebody reacts to it, you know, like, there's this guy who, he makes videos, I think he used to be MAGA, I don't know if he still is. But I know people who used to be in that sort of cult, and then they got out when they realized what was actually going on. And I'm not going to sit here and try to preach to anyone and tell them that what they believe is wrong and they need to stop. They need to believe what I believe, because it's not my place. It's not my place to tell you to do anything. You don't know me, and you know, I'm just trying to be entertaining. And I know that these early videos are not, but you have to start somewhere, like I said. And you know, right now I'm just trying to get comfortable with sitting in front of a microphone and trying to put words together so I'm not you know, all the entire video. And when I'm with friends, I don't have this problem. I don't have the problem of stuttering my way through everything. You know, at least I'm not sniffing, you know, little girl's hair and, you know, like that one video of Joe Biden. I don't know why he did that. I think it's just what old people do. And I'm getting old. You know, I'm like 48. I got no kids, no girlfriend, no boyfriend, in case anybody's wondering. No, I don't have any of that. I've never wanted it. I didn't want kids when I was growing up because I had brothers that I had to raise. And I saw other people's kids and how bad they were, and I don't need a little tiny version of me to can't think of the word now again, to validate my existence. And considering with the way things are going and my health problems, I don't want to leave like an 8-year-old kid with no father. You know? And yeah, it's selfish. I know it's selfish of me to not want to have kids and not give that future child a chance to have a life, but I don't want to leave a kid in a shitty life, you know, bouncing around between, you know, homes and having to try to live with people and getting stuck with my screwed up family, you know. But at the same time, if I ended up with kids, I'd love them. You know, I wouldn't turn my back on them, or if one day my son said, "Hey, Dad, I think I'm gay," I'll be like, "You know what, son? That's fine. You can think whatever you want, and if you end up being gay, I'm still gonna love you the same." In fact, I'd kind of be relieved because, you know, gay son can't create unwanted children. You have to actually want them. That's the difference between gay couples and straight couples is that gay couples don't randomly create kids by an oopsie. A little impossible. They create kids because they want them. And we have people out there that don't want gay people to have kids because their God said that only kids can be with only a mother and a father. Which, that's why I'm not a Christian. I did the Christian thing for a little while. I went to fundamentalist Baptist church. I went to the little trips, and we went to like San Diego, and we stayed there for like, I don't know, it was like a week or two during the summer, and we went to the park, and we screwed up people's days by asking them if they wanted to talk about Jesus or whatever, and to me, I don't want my weekend ruined by some guy wanting to preach to me, you know? I think this one wanted elbows. I think this one and the other one wanted elbows. Yeah, okay. So I need to split that. And then one day I was in church, and this guy was talking about how games like Dungeons and Dragons was like basically the work of Satan. Like Satan created the game to like corrupt people. I was like, what the hell is this guy saying? Satan created Dungeons and Dragons to corrupt people? What? No. And I went and I talked to him, and he's like, well, if you play Dungeons and Dragons, you can't really be a Christian because no real Christian. And as soon as he said no real Christian, I was like, okay, he's already lost me because he's using. At the time, I was learning about fallacies and how to debate and stuff like that. And I still don't know how to debate. Like anyone could out debate me. It would be like no effort for them. I should have left the gap because I'm going to have rods coming in, and I should have left. I should have left the gap. No, what I should do is move it. Then when I build my rods in this area, I can have one rod going out like that. But that means I'm going to go down here and put a collection box. Alms for the pole. Alms for the pole. So I can have it suck up all these items. And I'll remove it later on. There. Plus I'll have a whole bunch of elbows waiting for me. And I think instead of upgrading my base, I'm going to upgrade my inventory and stuff. I'm going to look up, today I'm going to look up where I can get Heinz mayo packets. I know you can basically get them at any store by just, grabbing them. I want to get them legitimately. I want a whole big ass box. You know what I'm saying? Like, My dad's up. He's my adopted dad. What's the movie The Actor? Found a YouTube video. I don't like YouTube videos in my movies. Add this to my to-do list. Oh, Hellman's. Oh, expensive. Food Service Direct has them for $25.95. How many do you get though? 210. I don't know why it wants me to. Okay, so there's 0.38 ounces. Point 0.38 times 210, because that's how many you get in a case. That's 79.80 ounces. Walmart. In a jar. Well, here's one I buy, 48 ounces. I buy the big giant jar. I probably have to end up buying like the 1 gallon jar, whatever it is. So the 48 ounce jar is $8. So that's $16 for the same amount, roughly. Actually, it's more than the packets. Yeah, I guess I'm not going to be buying it. Oh well. Well, you know what? I don't need Hellman's. I could get Kraft. Kraft would be okay. $11.48. You get 500 packets for $50. How many's in this box? 200. You know what? Kraft would be cheaper. Not as good as Hellman's. I know one person that if they heard me say that, they would just be smiling. Yeah, I'm gonna have to one of these days when I have more money available. Like these clowns, they think that because I'm on like Social Security disability, that one I didn't earn it when I did. I worked for almost 20 years of my damn life driving a semi truck, going to and from Canada. Sometimes, other times I went. Let's go ahead and research that one. Sometimes I went to Canada. Sometimes I went really far up into Canada, like dirt roads, Canada. There was this one road. It was in like the northeast. You're on the interstate. I think you go through Buffalo. I don't remember. It's been like quite a long time. So you go up through the northeast, and you're on what's basically an interstate that turns into a highway. That turns into a 2-lane highway. So I think that's just a state route at this point. And then at one point, it's dirt. You're on a dirt road in the middle of the night. And what's even worse is I'm getting there at like 8 o'clock in the morning thinking I'm an hour, like I'm there right on time. Like I'm 7:50 in the morning. I'm like walking up like, yeah, I'm like 10 minutes early. And he goes, you're an hour late. And I'm like, what? And he goes, you were supposed to be here an hour ago. And I'm like, I slept here. He goes, yeah, but you weren't in here, with his Canadian kind of accent. And I go, hold on. My phone doesn't work in Canada, so I don't know what time it is. I just go off my dash. I go, is my dash wrong? It says on my dash, it's 8 a.m. in the morning. And he goes, it's 9 a.m. in the morning because you are no longer on Eastern time. You were whichever one is right after Eastern. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm in another time zone? He goes, it's okay. We weren't even ready for you at 8 o'clock in the morning. We just wanted you to be here. I'm like, oh, thank goodness. Oh. Whew. He goes, you can pull into the door and we'll get to you around noon. I'm like, I'm going back to bed. Screw this. He's like, don't worry, we'll wake you up when we start unloading. He did too. That truck was shaking like crazy. I don't even remember what it was. All I remember was I was there an hour late and I didn't mean to be. Okay. I got my elbows going off that way, and now I need elbows going that way. So what I'm going to do... I'm going to cut that, because I don't remember which path needs the elbows. And neither does it. This side or this side? Oh yeah, this is working out again. I didn't have any idea I was going to build it this way. Those are blue. I will eventually end up making another elbow thing and then just sending it by itself. My goal here it's like I'm not really worried about double doors or any of that kind of stuff. What I do need to learn is the next mining drill. Okay, there's just not enough of these coming in. So what I could do is, I think I know the next, no I don't know the next one yet. As soon as I learn the next one, after I learn the drill, I'll then, instead of upgrading all of this, I'll just upgrade this road, and this will double it, which will then fill up both of these, because these go at 1 speed, the next one goes at 2 speed. So a 2 speed into a splitter of 1 speed will create 2 full belts. But also it'll help back it up, because as soon as it starts, like I've got buckets over here, I call them buckets, you know, storage, chests, whatever you want to call them. But see, I got this one, now this one's supposed to be, yeah. Why isn't it sucking that one in? Oh, right, look at that. So this one is going to be these platforms here, but since platforms and this come in and then they make red ones going out, but the red ones are backed up. So realistically, this is only going to make as much as it takes to basically fill this up. Once it covers up all of those. So what I might Even this is kind of backed up. Look, it's just barely going one at a time. I could totally put some more smelters in here. But if I did that, I would need to either have the double belts for more speed, or I would have to use double belts here, which means I have to then pick all this up. And, oh, well, no, I guess I could. Okay, so I have two options. One, I could add a belt here and then put the double, right? And then add a belt here and do an export. Or I'd have to dig this up and move it forward, but then it will impede this, and then see. So it'd just be easier just to double the belt speed. And yeah, I'm gonna do those tasks up there with the terminal. I don't really care about it right now. I'll do it after I get done with all this stuff, because once you get into the third one, you need Vermalite. I think you need polymer board. Which one? This is the third one. I can do all the green, and then I get stuck because I have no freaking idea what I'm supposed to be doing. So green ones, yeah. Shipping pad support, Firmarlite. I don't know. I never do the executive office furniture. I don't do any of that kind of stuff because I don't see a point to it other than just to make it look pretty. But, you know, I'm okay with it. I guess I'll just learn. So I've learned all the other stuff. Logistics continue. You know, let's just do that. Because what I want to do, so what I typically do, I've already got a chain of this over here. Like I've already got this to make red like conveyor belt here. I already got the red ones. This is the Mark 1, and I want to make the Mark 2, and I really hope I'm still shooting. Looks like so I got these already being made. So what I'll end up doing is I will pull some of these off of this. Like say, I'll put. Oh, I hate when I do that. Well, anyways, when I'm ready to do it, I'll go through it. But might as well check my mining down here. Yeah, it's still going pretty good. Isn't there a light? Okay, still got plenty of blue, still got plenty of red.
Great job on unlocking the blueprints for faster belts and assemblers. Together, we're paving the way for an ultra-efficient operation. Let's keep up the excellent work.
Okay, we're gonna do 16 smelters. So I don't need the research server listed in here. There's 16 smelters, so I need 4 more. Once I get drones though, that'll be fun. So this was where I needed logs. I wonder if I could shorten that belt. I think I can. Yeah, I can do that. Come back to bite me later. I like how you can only destroy a certain distance. one needs rods too, right? Hello, Albert. Anyone else want to go? I should have kept it. Yeah, I should have kept this. That's okay. I like to keep a two-spot here, you know, just in case I need to do an angle or whatever. Ooh, excuse me again, jeez. I wonder if, just out of curiosity. So I've been doing these like this, like that, but I wonder if, yeah, it doesn't recognize it. Well, you can manually set it to go this way, but see how many it pops on. So second one, third, fourth. It looks like it's going to turn them all on. What is it making? It's making runs. Why is it not sending out runs? Oh, it just takes, okay, cool. It's making, did it make 3? It's going to make 2. I think it's making 2. No, it's making 3. Well, that's dope. For some reason, I started saying dope around a friend of mine, and now he says it. I think I've rubbed off on it. What I'd normally do, which I may go ahead and do, is in some cases, like if I see that this row here on the outside, I don't know if you can see the white dot. If I see that this is constantly backed up, like it's barely moving, I will loop this back into whatever needs elbows for things. So see how this is like backed up constantly? See, it's kind of moving a little bit because taking a while for it to make blue ones. Mainly because some of these are still, some of these are full. So the way, like in Satisfactory, I think, and other games, like Factorio, the output always defaults to the one that's in front, and then the ones behind it have to wait. But in this game, there's always something underneath it, so it doesn't drop anything. So it's the ones in back that get to release theirs first. Which I like a lot better. So I got there where I was done. I should have done this 4 over. You know what? I can still do it. This one up, this one up, and this one up. There it goes. Middle row. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need 2x belts on these, because these are... Look how backed up this is. How far backed up are these? So we got 3 running, and it looks like this one's backed up. This one's almost backed up. That one's not even thinking about being backed up. Makes sense because of the way it makes both sides. Okay, let's go over here to this first because I want to get this out of my inventory. What I'd like to do is get the drones unlocked, which I'm not sure when that happens. So that I can just throw stuff in boxes and then have the drones come by and go take it wherever it needs to go. I think that's how the drones work. Who knows, really? I really like streaming this game because I don't cheat. Because my rule of thumb is, if I can cheat, I will. Like anytime I go to a Minecraft server, and I know this is really shitty, but hey, if you want to cheat, you should be able to cheat. I mean, except in instances like I'm about to explain. But I went to this guy's Minecraft server, and I noticed he was running like 1.7.10 or whatever. It's the one that has the bug where there's a crafting table that you can place on like the ground. It just creates the grid. And if you use if there's anybody commenting on this. Yeah, there's nobody commenting on this. Yeah, it's just me. Alright, so if you use a hopefully he doesn't watch this and find out what I did. So if you use a hand trolley, I forgot what they're called, but they're basically a dolly. Yeah, it was a dolly. So if you use a dolly and you use the grid that you can place on the ground in a certain way, and I don't remember how it was, I'd have to look it up. you could duplicate things. Like, say, you could put an iron diamond chest with diamonds in it, and then doing this little trick, you could get 2 chests filled with diamonds. But I was thinking, well, that's not enough diamonds for me. I need more than that. I need all the diamonds, all of them. So what I did was I kept doing that, and I had a storage cell with eventually diamonds in it and other materials that I duped, and I just kept doing that, and pretty soon I had just a wall of 64K cells filled with diamonds and other materials. And yeah, I feel like an asshole, and it made the game boring, but you know, if you can cheat, why not? But I don't know what happened to his server. I think he shut it down. It's just early game duping. I only intended to use it long enough to get kind of built up a little, and then yeah, it just got out of control. Next thing you know, it's just dupe city. Sorry for duping. And I'll probably do it again, but I don't think he'll ever use that Minecraft again, so it doesn't matter. That server's gone, so it doesn't matter. So now I could say, you know, that I did terrible things. But hey, it's lessons learned. Am I right? You know, you gotta learn. Okay. So that fixes all that. Remember, the first chance you get, as soon as you have the opportunity to unlock this, you should not this. The first opportunity you have to unlock the crusher, you should do so. You take 1 ore and turn it into 2. So, you know, automatically that's a good thing. And you don't have to cheat to do it. You just make it. Alright, so that. Now these are not going very fast, are they? It must be backed up. Plates are backed up because I filled up that chest. Now, the next goal, your next primary goal for stage 3, once we get there, why am I saying we? I'll just say we, it doesn't matter. You and whoever's watching this, and I get there. And if nobody ever watches it, oh well, at least I had fun. But your goal after, when you get into stage 3, your ultimate goal is to get the 3rd lane. Alright, like you don't need mining efficiency, you don't need drone miners, you need to get loader 3. So that means you have to learn explosives, piping, scanner, oh wait, no, this is stuff I gotta learn for this one. So, yeah, it looks like third lane is right after green, I don't know. It's been like a week. But yeah, your goal is to get 3rd lane because when you make these, right? When you're gonna make this, it takes 3 items coming in. Now at the beginning, what I do is I'll break off some of those elbows and send them into this because it doesn't craft very fast. But I'll hand load, like I'll go take out all of the things over there. I'll take all of the belt 1, right? I'll take all the 1 belt, 24 per minute. So that's what, 12 per half minute. Anyways, I'll take all of these out and then I'll manually load the 10 of these that already have these going into it. So I'll break off the elbows and then And then I will. Well, I guess you could call them shoulders. I mean, elbow, shoulder, whatever. And then I'll take some rods, and I'll send them over to make the copper lines, and then I'll have those copper lines going in to make this. So let me go here. Yeah. So to make this, I need rods and copper, which is basically rods. So I just basically need, here's what I need to do. What I need to do is, realistically what I should do is make more of these, but then I have to make more of these, which means that I have to go farm more of that. I don't want to do all that. So what I'll do, I already have 5, 8, and 8. There. I think that makes 18. 8 makes, no, I need to make 16. You know what? Fuck it, I'll just make. There. So really, what I'll actually do is, I can do it for here. Some point, oh, okay, I gotta wait for those to finish. Let me go check my other thing. Dogs over there making noises. He always makes these stupid noises that he started doing recently. I would suggest, if you're into movies, watching, right? I would suggest to you, if you have the means to do so, you should be buying your movies physically. Don't, like, alright, if you get a movie, right, buy the movie, keep the disc, get yourself an inexpensive Blu-ray drive for your computer, and if you've got the ability to do this, and then use Handbrake, and there's another program that you use to rip the Blu-ray off of the disc. Like, you could get yourself a PlayStation 3 that's you know, no, maybe don't do it that way. Get yourself an inexpensive Blu-ray reader, and if you've got a good computer, rip those discs to your hard drive, and then convert them from raw Blu-ray to something more manageable with it's make MKV. So use make MKV to copy the files off the Blu-ray. Just the movie. If you want all the extras, go ahead and get those too. Who cares? I mean, it's your life. And then take those movies, downsample them to like 1080p, x265, You get about a 2 to 3, maybe even 4 gigabyte file down from like 75 gigs. And then get yourself like a Jellyfin server. Set yourself up a Jellyfin server or some other server, Plex if you want to. I mean, I'm going to leave Plex as soon as they have a Jellyfin client for Xbox. And then, yeah, just do that, because here's the problem. These companies are charging $20 in some cases a month to watch their movies. And that's a great deal if you watch a lot of movies. But the second they take those movies off, they are gone. Sony, according to internet lore, that's what I call it now when I read something on the internet and I don't have time or desire to look it up. They were going to, or had, and then restored, or something happened where they had lost the license to some movies and they were just going to wipe them out of people's libraries. A movie you paid for, they was going to take away from you. Were they going to give you a refund? No, they wasn't going to give you a refund. That was an extended rental to them. I have to stand up every once in a while because my legs get crunchy. So that's why I suggest, getting movies that way. And if you've already bought a movie and you own it and it's on Amazon, you can't take that movie and do what you want with it. You can, I don't know if you can loan movies to friends because I don't have Amazon movies. I've never bought them. I think I do have one time I got a free movie from one of these Blu-ray DVD things. And that's how I suggest that you, what do you call it? That's how I suggest you get your movies. Like if you buy a brand new movie, take the code. If somebody wants to get that movie and they don't care about the disc, they just want the movie, go, listen, the movie's $20. I'll give you the code for 10. I'll keep the disc for 10. Now you bought a brand new Blu-ray for $10. And that's the other thing too. Those codes, they expire those codes. So you buy that movie like later on when it's on sale. Sometimes you go to use the code's dead. Code don't work anymore. And I think that's BS because I got plenty of movies that I couldn't use those codes for because I didn't have internet access to download the movies or like an account or any of that kind of stuff. All I had was slow 1 megabyte DSL. So I barely used it to browse the internet and play video games like World of Warcraft, things that were low bandwidth. And those codes don't work anymore. Like I went through and I found all the codes in my DVDs as I was taking their cases off and throwing the cases away. And that's the other thing too. You don't need those cases. Like if you just want the movie so that you have legal access to it, and you just want to watch it and you don't want to put it on a shelf and show everybody the cool Blu-ray collection you have, take the movies out of the shelves, save the artwork because you never know when you might want to put them back in shelves, and just throw the shells away. Throw them in the dumpster, or better yet, take them to like one of those Goodwill boxes and just throw them in there, or maybe even sell them on eBay. People will buy them, like if they're in pristine condition, they'll buy them for their own like screwed up collection. Because the only thing that happens with those shells is, one, you show everybody you have a big collection of movies, which, I mean, who cares? Like, I've never walked in someone's house and went longer than like 1 minute, maybe 2. Maybe I might bring it up as like a conversation point. But I've never went to somebody's house and just kept staring at their majestic collection of like 500 Blu-rays. I'm just looking at them going, nice. And then that's it. I don't even go past that. I don't care. I don't think anybody does. If you had like a big selection of law books and you were a lawyer, I'd be like, damn, this guy is a really good lawyer. Look at all these law books he has. But when I look at movies, I'm like, this guy watches a lot of movies. Let me borrow this one. That's basically what that is. That's advertising to your friends that you have movies and they might be able to borrow them. Except that one friend that doesn't know how to pick up a disc and he just gets his freaking peanut butter fingers all over it and smudges it all up, and then his kids grab it and flick it across the house, and next thing you know you've got a big scratch in it. Like I had a friend who came to me, his mom let some kids in his room and they had like peanut butter and jelly on their hands, and he's coming over like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. My disc is all messed up. I can't even play it. Like, look at it. It's disgusting. And I look at him and I go, listen, this disc is already kind of messed up, like from them messing with it. I might be able to fix it, but it might make it worse. And he's like, I don't care, just do it. So we went to the sink, put a little bit of soap on it, took my fingers, rubbed it, got all the stuff off of it, let it air dry. He put it in the thing, worked great. No skips, no nothing. Just, washed them. And that's the good thing about discs, you can just wash them. But anyways, take those out. You can get these metal cases that will hold like 400, 500, sometimes 1,000. Hell, you can even, if you have enough money, you can get these Sony carousels where you take your discs and you put them in the carousel, and then it will just play whichever movie you want. You don't even have to rip them. You could just put them in a carousel. Just keep getting those. I mean, it's a little bit more expensive, and if that device dies, you're SOL. But still, it's better than Amazon coming along and going, we don't support this movie anymore. And then, like, what are you gonna do after that? Now you're freaking up a creek. All this money you paid. You know what? Here's what it'd be like. My brother, when I was first started truck driving, I had my door locked. Worked great. Somebody, for some reason, thought they needed to get in my room. Apparently, it was him. He was crawling through my window, my youngest brother. He's never paid me back for this. He's apologized, but had an excuse behind it. Like, look, I'm sorry I stole your stuff. At that point, apology done. No further words needed. I would then say, you were a kid. I understand. Kids fuck up. I was a kid. I fucked up a lot. We okay. Like, I'm gonna forgive you, but I'm not gonna forget. And I'm probably gonna bring it up as a joke every once in a while, just to annoy you. Because I'm Gen X, and that's why. But he had to go one step further. He's like, listen, I'm sorry I stole all your stuff when I was a kid. But it wasn't my fault because, it's like, bro, that's not an apology. That's an excuse. Now, I reason that back then he had stole all my DVDs that I had collected for the last 10 years. So all through college, all through high school, college, gifts. People would like give me a DVD, like, hey, I heard you liked X-Men, so here you go, and then give you a copy of it. Granted, some of them were secondhand. Some of them were like Blockbuster. We're not doing this movie anymore. You could pay like $5. But a lot of them were brand new special editions that you can't get anymore. You cannot find them. They are gone, son. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. That's right. I'm gonna go this way. And I'm never gonna get those movies back. I'm never gonna. Those movies are, they are gone now. There's no way I can get those back. Hold on. So anyways, yeah, those movies are gone. I'll never get them back. I estimated it to the police when they asked me, like how much were they worth. I estimated like $5,000, and I still hold by that, but realistically, it's probably significantly more now because, some of those movies you're not going to find anymore, and if you do, like I had movies that were like limited release, things like that. Okay, what do I need to make here? I'm going to use to make copper rolls. And yeah, I'm not that worried about it. Oh, I should have done it. I thought of a better way to do this. Hold on. I should have paid better attention to that. And I've got room to grow that way if I need to. Here's what we got to do. No, I'm not flying. I'm standing on top of this. Okay. So here we go. This way. Start working. What do you even think about it? You can go outside, I'll take you outside. Come on. Come on, let's go outside. He's gonna give you alpha anyway, or whatever. Alright, let him out. Okay. Alright, this thing here. Anyways, he stole all my stuff, and that's basically what Amazon does. They just say, thank you, and no refunds. Thank you very much. Didn't mean to make that actually. So I'm gonna run like this, right? So we're gonna have output here, output here, output here, here, right? And put this here. Let's go ahead and make 10 more of those. And we're going to do input. See, I put it on this end over here so that I can have this last end here pull them in. Now, configure that. Oh, crud. Hold on. I'm going to make this work. I'm going to make this work. Okay, this may overtax. That isn't going anywhere right now, so I really don't need to worry about it. Where did that one go? I heard it put two of them down. Then it went underneath. Well, I guess I'll find out eventually. Go ahead and have this. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna have this. So it's just gonna make a loop. Now. Now I'm gonna put that. him out on purpose, because I have a purpose for this later. Wait until I can get a camera, which I can't do right now. Not that I'm afraid to show my face, but like if I ever wanted to get a real job and I accidentally say something on here that might be considered a non-hiring offense kind of thing. Oh, thing's moving again. Why is it moving? I'm gonna make it default to the left, to the right. Just to get this belt filled up. This is just temporary. Eventually, I will have this coming off of an overflow. So the idea is, when these export to here, this will automatically pick them up. Now the only one of this group getting kind of screwed over is back end, but I don't think yeah, it's already backed up. It's already getting backed up here. Because this one is directly feeding this one, plus any that are down the line. I could, in theory, make a bunch more, and I might. Because I might have, you know what, I like this direction. What did I need those for again? Oh, I think it was, yeah, I need elbows, reds, and those. So... looks like I have elbows down here. So, I guess I could do it this way. So let me. No, don't make those. Damn it. Find a place to make red belts, so, or level 2 belts. How long have I been streaming anyway? 1 hour and 58 minutes. A couple hours is pretty good, and it says I'm getting. I have 152 frames that have been dropped. So it must have been like a little lag bubble on my side, because my computer is a 14700F. Means I think that it doesn't have onboard video. It's got 64 gigs of RAM. It came with 16, which, for real, like, why would you sell me a gaming computer with 16 gigs of RAM? What is it? 2010? Alright? Back when my laptop had like 2 gigs of RAM and I could barely play Minecraft. and World of Warcraft. But anyways, 16 gigs of RAM. I went on the internet and I found an open box Corsair with the IQ lights that I don't care about. 64 gig, 2 sticks of RAM that I got in here. So 64 gigs of RAM, an NVIDIA RTX 4070 TS, which is like the super variant of the TI. I don't know. The newer 50 something doesn't perform as well as this, so I'm not even going to bother upgrading. In fact, what I want to upgrade to is, because I'm not doing AI on this computer, so I don't care about CUDA and all that kind of stuff. What I want to do is I want to upgrade to that video card that I heard might be coming out. And as with any rumor on the internet, you got to take it with a whole bag of salt. Is the 9070 XTX, which is rumored to going to have 32 gigs of VRAM. So that's what I want to get as an upgrade to this card, because I know my next logical upgrade, if I don't get that, would be to get a 4090, which my computer will handle no problem, but my wallet ain't. I ain't paying $2,000 for a graphics card. I paid $800 for a 3090, and that's because they were on sale. And now, because they're in that Black Friday sale, and now they are what, $1,800? Why is a like somebody make sense of this? Why is a 3080 or 3090 the same price as the MSRP of a 5090? And I don't even want a 5090. Like, I wanted a 40 series so bad when they first came out, because I was still on a 1050 Ti. So I had like 4 whole gigs of VRAM, and I was playing Ark Survival Evolved like all the time. And I wanted a 2080 when they came out, and the 3090 came out, and then the 4090 came out, and I was like, oh, I want these cards so bad. But I'm broke as fuck. And now the 5090s come out, and I saw that they were initially, I don't know about now, but they were missing ROPS, ROPS. And then like 8 of them on every card. 8 ROPS were missing off every card. That's not a defect, that's a, we added 8 to me. And then the performance, they dropped the 32-bit PhysX, which means older games that I actually like to play are not going to work. They're not going to be as good as they would be like on a 3060, and you have to basically go get yourself a Quattro, like a Quattro for the PhysX. Well, what? Why not just have 32-bit in there? Do they think that we only play 64-bit games? Is that what they think? That's all we play? We're just sitting around playing only new games? Like, I get it. You're going to buy a 5090 and you're going to want a really good game to show it off with, but, I mean, come on. I still like playing older games, and I don't want to have 2 different computers. So, yeah, there's that, and then it's like, oh yeah, the only way you're going to get like 200 frames per second, which you can't even see anyway, is to have AI generation, and I love AI, it's great. And yeah, it's going to kill a lot of jobs, but so did a car. Cars killed lots of jobs that they were using horses for, but you know what? Nobody cares about horses anymore. They're just like a fun animal that you go on the weekend and ride around. Like, there's horses all over the damn place here. They just walk around in yards and shit. I don't even know why we have them, but it's not my business to question why we have them. And yeah, so I'd love to, get a 5090 someday, just for AI. Like if I was gonna do, like, I get 2 5090s and put a water block with it on each one, and water cool it, and do like large language models, like have an AI I can talk to, because nobody else will talk to me. Nobody else. Like, I was literally told one day, I don't care about what you're talking about, and I just shut up. because I didn't know what to say after that. Like, it's like when you're in a heated argument with someone and they go, "You don't know what the fuck you're talking about." Okay, well then I guess this conversation's over. Because why would we continue? I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm petty like that. Okay, so back to what I was doing. I got my elbows going down here, so these elbows are disappearing down there. So what I would need to do is I have two options. I can try to swap these two lanes, but I don't want to. So my other option is to do this. Go down here. No. Here's nothing. I just realized this is what I had planned to do at the beginning with. Bring these out like this, right? Because I'm gonna make then bring these out like this. Oh, that's what I should have done. Hold on. Okay, my predicament is, do I have enough to pick this up? So my predicament is, here's one. Bring these down like this. Right? And then I'm going to put. So initially. No. Dang it. I'm going to make them down there in the corner. In fact, I could automate them, which I probably will, because I just thought I could bring them into the front. But for now, I'm going to. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do like this. I'm going to bring this down here. Making these things takes a while, so. Alright. We're going to bring this down here. Okay, so what we're going to do, what I'm going to do, one of us is going to do, someone's going to do. I'm going to bring, dang it. No, I'm going to leave a gap. I'm going to leave a 2-spot gap. I think I'm just going to set this up and then I'm going to call it a day. But during the day, like, I want to play, but I also... What was this? What was this for? Oh, right. Okay. I just realized I fucked this up already. So, to explain why I'm changing it before I even started it is... So, this area here, like I said before, go to the research tree and start the next one. That one. Okay, so like I said before, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, right? You've got, I'm gonna call it cyan. So you've got 1 through 5, but there's one spot right there. So I don't know if they're ever going to have a sixth one. Right? And since I don't know that, I don't want to set up these here, which 20 is all I need. If I need more, I'll build more somewhere else. So I don't know if there's going to be a sixth. So I've set this up so that each one can get 1. So there could be 6. So there's only going to be 5, but there could be 6. And this is going to be for green. Yeah, I think green's the next one. I'm just going to sit here and wait. So yeah, green's the next one. So when I make the green ones, I'm going to have those go into that line, and then the other 2 on the other lines. Yellow and magenta. I assume that 5th one would probably be black or something like that. Since I want to be able to have that. Okay, well that's done. So I need to make sure to go, let's go ahead and go down there because red one's up. Now that's going to put a little bit of a strain on the system because now it's got to fill that back up. But if you look at it, this one's full up, that one's full up. Oh no, I have to go that way. But there's nothing saying I can't do. Fudge. How will I get this out of here? Okay, it looks like there's a pathway there. We're gonna do upsies. Oh, speaking of upsies, this is a video I saw. I like watching these like furry creators because they're really pretty funny. And he goes something like, "I'm a 5 foot," I think he said 5'7" short king, and I want uppies. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, you want uppies till a 6'6" ogre like me comes along and picks you up, and then you're like, hey, what the fuck? Although he was pretty funny because he goes, you know, and you're not allowed to call me a short king unless you're going to talk to me like this. And he goes, oh, would you like me to help you? Like, just talking to him like he's an idiot. You have trouble reaching the shelves? Yeah. And that's what I like about, you know, they're willing to make fun of themselves, which kind of makes me wonder if he's a Gen X or not. Okay, now I have got... Now see, from here, I could go down, right? I could go down. Like, I could have just went down on this side. But, yeah, I don't want to have cables going underneath. Not unless they come up with, like, some sort of brace. Like, if they come up with, like, a grabber thing. I can't think what it's called. Like, you know, I might grab some of these TikTok videos and then just do like reactions to them, because that could be fun. My friend says I'm doing this all wrong because I need to do buses and stuff, and I'm like, they don't have buses in this game, bro. It's just belts and trains in the future. And he's like, no, I mean, I'm like, yeah, I know what you mean, bro. I know exactly what you mean. I think he missed the sarcasm, but it's okay. So it's okay. We don't all understand sarcasm. wait. Hold on. So the thing with these belts, I've discovered, is it doesn't matter if they're going to a 3-2 or a 1 belt. It doesn't matter to the game. It's still the same speed, as far as I can tell. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. It's still possible, though. You know what? Let's go 5, 10. Anyways, I'm gonna have to go this way. Shite. Screw it. No, don't screw it. Don't screw it. Here's what we do. This way, in the event that I need to make adjustments. Like, if I want to expand this back further, I would just cut this and move it. But at the same time, if I need to move this forward, I have the room here. Realistically, this is just kind of starter stuff. I will probably eventually build huge bases where I make, like, you know, I just made 1,000 red belts per minute. Have a look. It's just me duping. Like, it's just me duping. Hey, I did it, right? Okay, so I got the belts. I got the elbows. I do long and then short, right? I love when I love how there's like a fly that wants to buzz by your face. Meanwhile, there's a freaking whole universe of a house that they could be in. Like, bro, leave me alone. Fuck off and go do your own thing somewhere else. Oh, and they always want to land like on your leg. Like, I have the issues with the legs, and like they just constantly keep landing on my leg. Like, you little bastards! I'm not letting you fucking lay eggs on my skin. I'm not waking up to that freaking nightmare. You know what? Since I may end up doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and, like, I already did that once. I already. What the fuck was the other one? Elbows, wings, and copper, the copper wires. So yeah. Yeah, this is gonna work out great. Yeah, you want uppies, do you? Here, I'll give you some uppies. Oh yeah, it's gonna be perfect. Fuck off! So it doesn't really care which lane it goes on. These are backed up now. These have basically become empty storage boxes. There. So now I've got that and that. And now I have to work my way, like at at some point, like what I'll probably do is once I get this set up, where it's just making red and blue by itself, while I'm doing other things around the house, while I'm not streaming, because who's going to want to watch an 8-hour stream of me like wandering off for like 30 minutes and then coming back and pressing the button, and it, like nobody wants to see that. Because it makes it harder. Like if I want to go through and I want to cut these up, which is my ultimate plan, right? I'll use YouTube will store the this footage. I think it's 1080p with kind of a low bit rate. Because right now I don't have fudge. I can't think of it. I don't have fiber, right? I heard there's fiber coming through, but I've heard that for the last like 2 or 3 years. So one of these days maybe. Okay, so I should, in theory. Yeah, why isn't it taking it in? Oh, it is taking it in. I just don't have the elbows. So anyways, my plan is to, at some point, someday, somehow, somewhere, is to take the footage of this, me streaming, import it into import it into a video editing software. Cut out all of the boring pauses and me just rambling. Cut all that out. I might even do like a talk over where I just kind of explain the reasoning behind why I'm doing things, because I do things differently than other people. I don't watch. I think I've watched like of this game, I've watched enough to figure out things when I can't figure them out. Like I didn't know one boiler for one turbine. Right? I thought it was like one boiler and then as many turbines as you can hook to it, and then when you need more, you just put more on the chain and you're good to go. I didn't realize it was kind of like a one-in-one situation. Like in Minecraft, there's is it Minecraft? No, Factorio. In Factorio, one boiler can power like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 generators. But in this, one boiler, one generator, you're done. And you're done. And you're done. You know. Yeah. So anyways. So I was like wondering why it wasn't working, and then I, had to go and find out the hard way. Just gonna go ahead and put these in like this. Running out of elbows. So since I don't have the third one yet, what I'll do is I would do this. I don't want to stand there and so this will just be temporary. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pick up. Them out in this direction. Yes, I realize I could put a splitter and send it off, but this is better, in my opinion. And now I don't have. You know what? I'm going to be making. Well, what am I doing? Hold on. I've got a perfectly good one right here. this one does 160 per minute, allegedly. This one does 320, so you get double. This one's going to be the unload route. This one's going to be the second. I never let the dog in when he first starts barking, because if I do, they'll come in here and start barking, wanting to go back outside. So I just make them stay out there. But it's getting a little warm out here sometimes. Buy anything for this whole thing that I'm trying out. Like, if I will get a camera when I can monetize this channel, because then the channel can pay for the camera. I can't afford a camera, but if I'm making money through this, which I don't think I ever will, then I'm making here. This way. What I have to do is do this. I have it go up. I feel like this is a puzzle for me to solve. I don't want to put too much work into this, because I will eventually have these going around back and this just coming out, so. guess what I have to do is come around like this, make it turn. He's already doing it. What he's gonna get is swatted. Yeah, plus at that point, if I'm making enough money to reasonably, like I don't have any plans of setting up, like join my channel so you can give me free money and maybe I'll put out a video if you're lucky. No, it'll be more than that. It'll be like some service, like let's say I can get a house, because I live in basically a metal building, been converted into a house. I pay like 400 and something a month. We're really lucky to have this place, and I'm super grateful to the owner for not changing our rent to like $800 or something, because we couldn't afford that. We'd be living basically in a forest wherever we could find a place to live. I'd be living in Salton Sea, hoping that the police don't chase us out. Today we live in Albuquerque at this rest area, and next week, after the cop chases away, we live 100 miles down the road at a different rest area. So anyways, I could afford a decent house, or that I could have a room that I could do YouTube in. I could set up like a screen behind me, and then get like a decent camera. I'm not saying Review Tech USA style getting a camera where you beg your fans for $500 to get a camera that you pay $350 for, and then you brag about how, I gave like $500 to charity. It's cool, man. It doesn't matter if I didn't buy it use it for exactly what I said I was going to, and then delete my channel years later because I rage quit YouTube. Don't start your shit in here. Go in there. Go. Damn, turn on the ceiling fan. We are at stage 1 hot.
So, the stuff I have now is an AT 2020 with a Behringer mixing board that I bought when I first came home from truck driving because I thought I was going to be a YouTuber. It didn't work out. Didn't have enough bandwidth to live stream, and I couldn't really think of anything to talk about. I never thought once to talk about what I know, which is truck driving. And then I got wrapped up into playing video games, and well, now I'm like $15,000 in debt, and trying to get out of it, and it's very difficult. I'm not asking anyone for handouts. I'm not going to ask anybody for anything because I don't do that. I don't ask people for things. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and replace that belt. Right now I'm just going to upgrade some belts. Okay. I do like, okay, so when you go to replace a belt, it'll tell you like 106 belts, 0 slopes. Okay. So I'm going to replace that one. Now this one says 2 slopes, 153 belts. We can do that. But you see here it says, oh, you're missing 4 slopes. Don't upgrade it, because you will be walking around looking for where you're missing it. Just craft whatever it says you're missing. Now I'm missing 3. Now I'm missing 2. Missing 1. And now I'm good. That'll probably be what I do. I will upgrade my belts. I guess I upgraded that one already. 104 belts. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do in between. Because I can't live stream all day. I can't talk that much. Like, I got people that will start making noise in here, and they'll start yelling and all this other stuff, and it'll become like, you know, how much drama do you want to listen to in my background? You know what I'm saying? I didn't learn. Oh, I guess I did. Splitter. There. Look at that. Okay, so this is the extent of what I'm going to do between today and tomorrow. I'm going to research all of this stuff, but just this stuff. Up the blue and red. I'm not going to do green yet. In fact, I'm going to leave it at green science pack. So that'll be, when I start the next one, that'll be what I research while I run through what I've done. I'm not going to place like any freight elevators or any of that kind of stuff. I'm not going to be adding or subtracting from the base. I'm just going to be, I may lay out where I'm going to put stuff. So, like, I may, like, place the blocks and then use like maybe a sign to note what I'm going to be doing. But, you know, that's about it. I may do the layout, but, or I may not. It's probably better if I don't. Let me just go ahead and tell it to learn, about catwalks. I may play some side walkways. I don't know. I wonder if it will go at an angle. Anyways. Yeah, and I'm going to learn all this, and then I'm going to upgrade these belts. See if I can upgrade this one. Yeah, it looks like this one can be upgraded. 2 slopes. Belts. Anyways, and then I'm going to learn all this stuff, and that's about it. And then I'm going to call it a day on this because I am being burnt out. Let me see if anybody's in here. Yeah, nobody's in here. Let's see where it says participants. Yeah, there's no participants. I didn't think that anybody would show up. I'm not high on my own supply. Maybe next time I'll talk about some trucking stuff, you know, some fun stories that can share. I mean, none of it's. I mean, some of the stuff I used to do was like I can't talk about, but most of it I can. Well, I guess that's that. I will try to stream again tomorrow. Have a nice day, anybody.